Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, I am bringing you Dragon Age Origins. Now this is kind of an old game, I think it's over 10 years now. But it was one of my favorites whenever I first played it. It's been years since I last played it, and out of nowhere, I've just had a big urge to play it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play this game again. And then after that, Dragon Age 2, and then Dragon Age Inquisition, and then Dragon Age whatever the fourth one's gonna be. But I'll spread it out. So Dragon Age Origins is a fantasy RPG where it's made by the developers that made Mass Effect, BioWare. So you know it's got good quality to it, good quality to the storyline, good quality to the combat, just goodness all around. So let's go. Let's start a new game. Now there is a DLC that's kind of a prologue, but that prologue is just for one side character. It's not actually anything worth doing for your first playthrough. And so is the Golden City blackened. With each step you take in my hall, marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven and doom upon the world. Canticle of Threnodies, 8:13.
The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption.
I just didn't realize subtitles are on.
They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. The Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
Okay, quite an intro. I'd completely forgotten about that intro. I've forgotten most of this game, actually. So the background you select will determine which of the 6 distinct opening stories you play through. It also affects how characters respond to you throughout the game. So we're gonna be a girl, of course. We can be a human, an elf, or a dwarf. I remember what I used to always play as, and I think I'll choose that again, just because it's so much fun. I believe it's a human warrior. Human mage is also fun. Or an elvish mage. It's got a lot. Elvish mage has a lot of intricacies to it because elves in this world are oppressed by humans. So I think I will choose the human noble. Born to wealth and power, second only to royalty, you will find your training in both diplomacy and battle put to the test as your brother leads the bulk of your family's forces to war with in the south. Yeah. This one has a lot of story elements to it, the nobility line.
Greetings.
Because you're gathering allies from what I remember. And you need noble birth to gather the most amount of allies. Okay guys, so I got our character created. What do you think? I like her. I think she'll do. Yeah, I think she'll do. She's very akin to the character I normally create in this game. Let's see here. Strength, dexterity, willpower, magic, cunning. Determines how well your character learns and reasons. I'd say measure of agility and reflexes and balance. Higher dexterity improves character's chances to hit. Makes the character more likely to dodge incoming blows. I remember we needed a lot of strength to equip the best weapons and armor. So yeah, let's do that. Coercion? Stealing, trap making, survival, herbalism, poison making, combat training, and combat tactics. I think coercion. Because I remember there's a lot of coercing need to do. A lot of smooth talking. So let's do coercion. Okay, since we're a warrior, we get access to all the weapon trees. But I think I'm going to stick with weapon and shield. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Powerful. The warrior has gained greater health and reduced fatigue penalty for wearing armor. The warrior tries to make each attack count, sacrificing attack speed for a bonus to attack as well as an increased chance to score critical hits for as long as this mode is active. Yeah, I guess we could do that one. Let's do that one. Okay, let's go. Let's start this game already. This is the recommended setting for players familiar with role-playing games, providing a good balance of challenge and survivability. It requires moderate use of tactical pausing to plan actions during combat, although party members can harm each other with careless use of certain abilities. Damage due to friendly fire is only half what it would be against enemies. Okay, so there's friendly fire. I don't like the idea of friendly fire being a thing, but let's just do normal, see how it goes. We can always change the difficulty if we don't like it. So let's go. Let's start.
For generations, your family, the Kuzlans, has stewarded the lands of Highever, earning the loyalty of your people with justice and temperance. When your country was occupied by the Orlesian Empire, your father and grandfather served the embattled kings of your land. Today, your elder brother takes up House Kuzlan's banner in service to the crown, not against the men of Orlais, but against the bestial darkspawn rising in the south.
I trust then that your troops will be here shortly.
I expect they will start arriving tonight, and we can march tomorrow. I apologize for the delay, my lord. This is entirely my fault.
No. The appearance of the Darkspawn in the south has us all scrambling, doesn't it? I only received the call from the king a few days ago myself. I'll send my eldest off with my men. You and I will ride tomorrow just like the old days.
True, but we both had less gray in our hair then, and we fought all legions, not monsters.
At least the smell will be the same. I'm
Yes.
sorry, Pop, I didn't see you there. How? You remember my daughter?
I see she's become a lovely young woman. Pleased to see you again, my dear.
And you are how?
My son Thomas asked after you. Perhaps I should bring him with me next time.
Thomas is a few years younger than I am. I have no interest in an arranged marriage. I'd like that. I guess I'd like that.
Good. My son's rather fascinated with stories of your prowess as a warrior. I dare say he'd like to test it firsthand.
At any rate, Pop, I summoned you for a reason. While your brother and I are both away, I'm leaving you in charge of the castle.
Are you certain what's involved with such a task? I'll do my best, father. What? Why can't I go into battle with you and Fergus? I'd say that. Let's say that one. 3.
I'm certain you'd more than prove yourself, but I am not willing to deal with your mother if you join the war. She'd kill me if I let you go. She's already twisted into knots about Fergus and me going.
Let me talk to her. I'll convince her. That's not fair. I want to fight. I'll do what you think is best. We're a dutiful daughter. Because we're born into nobility, we know duty and honor.
Now, that's what I'd like to hear. Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away, yes? There's also someone you must meet. Please, show Duncan in.
It is an honor to be a guest within your hall, Tyrn Cousland.
Your lordship, you didn't mention that a Grey Warden would be present.
Duncan arrived just recently, unannounced. Is there a problem?
Of course not. But a guest of this stature demands certain protocol. I am at a disadvantage.
We rarely have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup, Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey Wardens are, I hope.
They're an order of great warriors. They defeated the Darkspawn long ago. I think 1.
They are the heroes of legend, who ended the Blights and saved us all. Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow wardens in the south. I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
If I might be so bold, I would suggest that your daughter is also an excellent candidate.
Honor though that might be, this is my daughter we're talking about.
I think I rather like the idea, father.
I've not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of conscription.
Have no fear. While we need as many good recruits as we can find, I've no intention of forcing the issue.
Pup, can you ensure that Duncan's requests are seen to while I'm gone?
Of course.
In the meantime, find Fergus and tell him to lead the troops to Ostagar ahead of me.
Are you trying to get rid of me? But I'd like to stay and talk to Duncan.
You'll have plenty of time after we're gone. We must discuss the battle plans in the south. Be a good lass and do as I've asked. We'll talk soon.
Sweet. So many quests. This game has a lot of DLC stuff to it. This was back in the time whenever DLC was at its height. Cool.
Greetings, my lady. You are the Terran's daughter, are you not?
I am indeed Alyssa.
That is good to know. I understand you shall take charge of your father's castle once we march.
So I'm told, yes.
Ah, then I wish you luck. Good evening, my lady.
That was a weird encounter. Arl Howe.
Yes? We fought together under King Marek when he drove the Orlesians out of Ferelden. Heady times. The years since have not held the same promise. It's not something a youth would understand. It will be good to ride beside your father again.
You knew King Marek?
Your father hasn't spoken of our time with him? That man took care of his friends. As they say, he was large as life and twice as tall. It's too bad Kalen isn't half that.
You don't think much of Kalen?
I think of him as much as he thinks at all.
That's enough, Hal. You speak of our king.
The girl did ask, your lordship. As per the latitude you allow. I merely offered my opinion.
Your son is interested in me?
The topic has come up from time to time. The young and their infatuations.
I got the impression Thomas didn't like me.
I'm sure that was years ago. People change. To be honest, I have no expectations. And your father seems determined to let you find your own way. If something did happen...
We have a good father.
Well, we'd address it as befits a family of our stature.
I think I'd like that. We'll see.
I'm sure. There will be much to discuss once I return.
Trust the delay with your men is nothing serious?
Poor weather, I believe. Their progress has been slow, but it's nothing you need worry about.
I should go. You told my father the delay was your fault.
In a manner of speaking, if I had reinforced our border levies earlier, my troops could have left before the rains. I confess, my confidence in your father allowed me some complacency. I guess that makes it as much his fault.
I just want to wish you well, Arl Hal.
I thank you. That is quite unnecessary.
Why are you looking away when you do that, huh?
Shouldn't you be off to your brother, as I asked?
Are you sure you'll be alright?
Your brother and I go into battle, not an afternoon tea. Who knows what will happen to us? I will tell you, however, you're my darling daughter. I love you. And I trust you completely to carry on the Kuzlin name if the worst should happen. But don't worry about me, dear girl. You'll have enough to occupy your mind while I'm gone.
Where do you think Fergus is?
Upstairs in his chambers, no doubt. Saying goodbye to Oriana and your nephew.
Is sending all of our forces south a good idea?
When the king demands it. In fact, not sending our forces south would be a distinctly bad idea. Don't worry, pup. You shouldn't see many problems, but I want you to prepare the men left here. In case.
In case of what?
Legends of the Blights tell of horrible things. These darkspawn once threatened many lands. If we can't hold them, you must prepare for the worst.
I'll do my best, Father. I swear it.
I know you will. You are a Kuzland, after all. But let's not speak of ominous things. We shall assume that all will go well, and the Maker will watch over us.
I'll go now.
I'll talk to you soon. Just let me finish my meeting with Duncan.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but I believe your father wishes to talk to the Arl and myself alone.
May we speak later? I was hoping to ask a quick question or two.
Very well. I doubt your father would mind a slight delay.
Are there really darkspawn in the south?
Indeed. We spotted a horde assembling in the Korkari Wilds not 3 weeks ago. Luckily, King Kalen took us at our word and marshaled Ferelden's forces quickly. The first battles have already been fought. Your father and I must move quickly.
How many darkspawn are there?
Thousands. Perhaps 10,000 or more in this horde. Normally the darkspawn stay in the deep roads. It bodes ill that so many risk the surface.
How much danger are Fergus and my father in?
Well, I understand the first battles have gone easily.
Indeed. Are the Grey Wardens sure this is a blight, and not simply some large, darkspawn raid?
No archdemon has been sighted yet, my lord. But with my entire soul, I believe this is a blight.
I wish we shared your faith. I suppose we shall see for ourselves, once we arrive at the King's camp.
Would you really recruit me into the Grey Wardens?
Of course. You are young, skilled, and eager for battle. Or so I heard. The Grey Wardens do not recruit simply anybody, and I intend no flattery when I say you show promise. The old treaties allow me to conscript you even against your father's wishes, but I will not do so. Our order is too small to risk animosity with Ferelden's nobility.
I'm glad I am to hear it.
It's tempting, your lordship, but I'm content to see what other candidates your castle offers.
Did you really come all this way to see Sir Gilmore?
I have only found a couple of worthy candidates in my travels across Ferelden. Your father invited me here, suggesting this Sir Gilmore. If he is not suitable, I will head south and join up with the king.
You know the king?
Not well. King Cailan is an eager young man who has shown great wisdom in responding to the Darkspawn threat.
I've heard he is a bit enraptured with the Grey Warden legend, and that is why he caters to your order.
How? That is unworthy of you.
He only repeats what we've all heard. Whatever the king's reasons, I'll take his support. The priority is defeating the Darkspawn before they threaten all of Ferelden.
I'll leave you alone then.
Until we speak again.
Sweet.
Good evening, milady.
Cool. Oh yeah, I have some mods installed, and there should be a mod to open up... Oh, dang it, I don't have it installed. Oh, it is installed, sweet. I didn't need the skills. It's called Lock Bash, and it basically forces open locks that normally you need a rogue to unlock locks, but not this time. Since I'm a warrior, I can just smash open these doors.
Let's get started.
I'm that strong. Even though it's my castle, I'm damaging my own property, but I don't care. More deep mushrooms. Woohoo. Okay. Oh yeah, don't we have stuff in our inventory? We do. Fire damage resistance. +6 to cunning. 7% to melee critical. +1 stamina regeneration combat. +50 stamina. Chance to avoid. I think this one's actually better. Well, we're not a mage, so this one's better. Lucky Stone. +1 to all attributes. This one's better. I like that one better. Cool. Okay. I'm satisfied. Yeah, see, it requires 31 strength to equip. And then the daggers require dexterity to equip. Okay. Cool. Isn't there a... I forget... There's a button to... like, send out a pulse that tells you what's around you. I forget what button that is. Hang on. I forget what button that is. I gotta look up the controls. Controls, Quick slot. Oh no, it's a button you hold, is what it is. Pan camera, zoom in. Character record, journal, inventory, skills, spells and talents. Highlight usable object, tab, and button 3. Okay. There we go. Okay. Because that will tell
Let's get
me.
started.
Yeah, see, there's a book over here that I wouldn't have been able to find without that ability.
On it.
The Chain of Light, the Blight. Because you get XP for reading books.
Maker, prepare a place for us. Redeem our world from sin. Forgive our transgressions.
Maker, forgive us all.
I'd forgotten about their religion.
Have
They
you
believe
come
in the
to pray
Maker.
for your brother and father? I'd be happy to ask for the Maker's blessings with you.
I would appreciate that. We're the good kind of character. We make people happier. We bring joy and happiness and make the world right. That's our character.
Please, child, call me Malol.
Even if we
I
don't
know these
necessarily
things are a
believe
wee
in the
babe
light
after all.
of the Maker.
Creator of the sky, the land, and the sea. Hear your people in our time of need.
Maker, watch over us.
Let no man have cause to fear the shadows. Let their souls be lifted upon your return. So let it be.
Maker, forgive us all.
There now. I'll be keeping a vigil tonight. You're welcome to come. There are many more who must receive the Maker's blessings before they leave. If you would excuse me.
Thank you, Malal. Could you answer a few questions?
I cannot. Many await my attendance before they march into the unknown. We shall talk once the soldiers have departed.
Okay. The Maker.
Evening, my lady. Evening, my lady.
I'm sorry, child, but I must attend the spiritual needs of those heading into battle.
Good evening, my lady.
Another lock to bash. Such a nice ability. Quartz. Sweet.
Let's get started.
Servant.
We will be up very late tonight giving the Arl's men proper quarters.
We will serve you well while the Terran is gone.
What is this noise going on? Sounds like someone's fighting with a dog. Lost iron ring. Oh, darn it. So you can actually lose stuff? By forcing open the lock? I guess that makes sense. Still sucks. Okay. And now we're back at the main entrance.
There you are. Your mother told me the Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Hello to you too, Sir Gilmore.
Pardon my abruptness, my lady. It's simply that I've been looking everywhere for you. I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave.
Did the dog get into the larder again?
No matter how the maids try to keep him out, he always finds a way in. You know these Mabari hounds. He'll listen to his mistress, but anyone else risks having an arm bitten off.
He knows better than to hurt anybody. I guess I should go collect him.
That would be wise, before Nan tears down the walls. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we?
To the kitchen, then!
Just follow the yelling. When Nan's unhappy, she makes sure everyone knows it.
So that's what all that yelling is. Getting some more elf root. Deep mushrooms. So elf root is used to make health potions, if I remember correctly. And deep mushrooms are used to make mana potions.
Get that bloody mutt out of the larder.
But mistress, it won't let us near.
If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves, I swear it.
Calm down, good woman. We've come to help.
You and you. Your bloody mongrel keeps getting into my larder. That beast should be put down.
He's not a mongrel, he's a pureblood. I'm sorry he's bothering you, Nan. Yeah.
Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two, stop standing there like idiots. Get out of the way.
We'd best go into the larder while we can before Nan runs for the guards.
Do you know much about the Grey Wardens?
Only what everyone hears. I never expected to actually see one. So few of them are here in Ferelden.
Have you ever seen Darkspawn?
Never. You hear about Darkspawn attacking homesteads and travellers, but I thought they were just stories.
Are Grey Wardens really as skilled as the legends say?
I hear they only recruit the most skilled. It'd be disappointing if that wasn't true.
What happens if the Grey Wardens recruit you?
I only know that once you become a Grey Warden, your old life is over. There's no going back.
Let's talk about something else.
As you wish. But what if the Grey Warden tries to recruit you? Have you thought about it?
He assured my father he wouldn't recruit me. I wish he would recruit me.
Too bad. It's unlikely that the Wardens would risk your father's wrath.
Why aren't you marching with our men?
I would were it my choice. Your father decided I should remain with the complement guarding the castle. I hope that's because this Grey Warden wishes to see me.
Tell me about yourself, Grimoire.
Well, you know I've served your father for years, since my own father sent me to squire here. My father is a minor lord in the Bannorn, but our land is little more than a glorified farmstead. I do miss it though. The valleys of the Bannorn are beautiful this time of year. I take great pride in serving the town. Still, if I had the opportunity to join the Grey Wardens, I wouldn't hesitate.
You would leave my father's service?
With his blessing, I imagine. Joining the Wardens is the highest service one can render.
I really don't need you to accompany me, you know.
Oh, it's no bother. I should make sure that Nan is settled anyhow, or your mother will have my hide.
Let's keep going.
Of course, my lady. Lead on.
Alright. Anything to collect in here? No.
Let's get started.
Oh, look at that mess. How did he even get in here?
Are you trying to tell me something, boy?
He does seem like he's trying to tell you something. Wait, did you hear that?
Oh, dang it. That's a lot of rats.
Here I am, killing rats! How noble!
This should be easy enough.
I need to restart, 'cause I remember this bug being a thing where You get to name your dog,
Giant
but only
rats.
once.
It's like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell. Your hound must have chased them in through their holes. Looks like he wasn't raiding the larder after all.
Indeed. Maybe it was just coincidence? Certainly looks that way.
Those were rats from the Kokari Wilds. Best not to tell Nan. She's upset enough as it is. But seeing as you've got your Mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Jarl's men.
Okay. Let me see if I can redo that. Oh man, all the way back there? Are you serious? Because the problem is, if you miss the chance to name your dog, then you never get that chance again, and it'll just be named Dog the entire time. And I don't want my dog to be named Dog. I want my dog to have an actual name. Oh well. I'm not going to be using the dog much anyways, because he's not that strong of a fighter if I remember correctly. So he's named Dog, but we're going to name him Orin. O-R-I-N. Because that's the name of my dog, Orin. So Orin is going to come with us.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
Actually, he was defending your larder from rats. Big ones. That's right, he's not to blame. He was helping.
What? Rats? Not the large grey ones?
They'll rip you to shreds, they will!
See, now you've gone and scared the servants. I expect those filthy things are dead.
My faithful warhound made sure it's safe.
Oh, I bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with.
Aww.
Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms.
Oh, come on.
Here then. Take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog. Thank you, my lady. Now we can get to work. That's right, you two. Quit standing about.
Sweet. Let's level up. Yeah, let's keep our strength and constitution, because the constitution is your health. Strength is your melee power and ability to equip more powerful things. So I think how I'll do this is every time I level up, I'll do 2 in strength, 1 in constitution. 2 in strength, 1 in constitution. All the way up until we reach, I think it's level 32? Level something. I can't remember what it is. But at some point, we don't need any more strength, because we'll be at the maximum of the requirements to equip the best armor and weapons. Because I want to wear the best armor and weapons as fast as possible. Oh yeah, and then the specializations. I had totally forgotten about the specializations. So at some point, we get specialization skills that we get to unlock specializations with, and it gives us more abilities. Sweet. Shield defense. While this mode is active, the character drops into a defensive stance that favors the shield, gaining a bonus to defense and an increased chance to shrug off missile attacks, but taking a penalty to attack. With shield balance, the penalty is reduced. With shield expertise, the defense bonus increases. With shield mastery, the defense bonus increases further. Okay, cool, so let's go with that one. Let's just go with as much... Yeah. As much defense as possible. Let's go with the heaviest armor, the heaviest shield, the best sword that we can do.
Good evening, my lady.
Nothing in here? Okay. Yeah, we gotta level him up. He's a warrior too, so I think actually it's strength, dexterity, and constitution, because he has some dexterity skills if I remember correctly. Or maybe he doesn't. Mabari has undergone a training of endurance and survival, gaining a bonus to stamina. Sure, let's go with that one.
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais last year. The Marquis who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my lovely daughter. I take it by the presence of that troublesome hound of yours that the situation in the kitchen is handled?
Yes, Mother. Nana's back to work as we speak.
You've always had a way with her. Darling, you remember Lady Landra, Ban Lawrence's wife?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon.
Of course, it's good to see you again, my lady.
You're too kind, dear girl. Didn't I spend half the salon trying to convince you to marry my son?
And made a very poor case for it, I might add.
You remember my son, Dyron. He's not married yet either.
Don't listen to her. It's good to see you again, milady. You're looking as beautiful as ever.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this is my lady-in-waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great pleasure, my lady. You are as pretty as your mother describes.
And she says that after seeing you whacking stuffed men in the courtyard, sweating like a mule.
Your daughter's prowess with the blade is most impressive.
I was quite the battle maiden myself in my day. But I think it was the softer arts that helped me land a husband.
I can handle my own affairs, thank you.
All evidence to the contrary.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Good evening, your ladyship.
Oh, Mother, just speak.
You should say goodbye to Fergus while you have the chance.
Do you know there's a Grey Warden here?
Yes, your father mentioned that. You haven't got it into your head that you want to be recruited.
The Darkspawn have returned. Grey Wardens are needed. Father wouldn't allow it.
Nor I. And I do realize you didn't answer my question. There's enough here at the castle to occupy you. I don't need you off chasing danger like your brother.
Do you know where Fergus might be?
If he's not out with his men, probably upstairs with Oriana.
Why can't I go with Father and Fergus?
I know it's difficult to stay in the castle and watch others ride off. But we must see to our duties first. You understand that, don't you?
What if they fall without me?
It's in the Maker's hands now. And we must cope as best we can.
Do you know where Fergus might be? Oh, we've already asked that. I have a bad feeling about all this.
As do I. Your father and brother are marching off to fight Maker knows what. All the assurances in the world don't comfort me. But it wouldn't help for us to take up arms and follow. Fergus and your father have their duty and we have ours.
Are you staying at the castle?
For a few days. Then I'll travel with Lady Landra to her estate and keep her company for a time. Your father thinks my presence here might undermine your authority.
I don't think you should go.
Don't worry, my dear. It won't be long. If he's not out with his men, probably upstairs with Oriana.
I should go.
I love you, my darling girl. You know that, don't you?
I love you too, Mother.
Go do what you must, then. I will see you soon.
Good evening, milady.
Oh yeah, Aldous.
Hello,
I remember
my dear
you.
girl. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
Boys, you are referring to the Couslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect.
Yeah. Still the same taskmaster, I see.
If the mind is not exercised, it withers just as the body does. Perhaps you'd care to join me in teaching the lesson?
Certainly, I'd be happy to.
Wonderful. Oh, the Cousland history is long indeed. Where shall we start?
When was our line founded?
Records are vague, but the Couslands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child?
During the lycanthrope plagues.
Good. I'm pleased some of my lessons seem to have stuck. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Kusland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tyrn.
Sweet. We predate the founding of the kingdom, yes?
Well, I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young lady.
I'm doing the best I can. It's your skills as a tutor, of course.
If I were truly a skilled tutor, I suspect I would not encounter such insouciance amongst my pupils. You can look that up later. At any rate, your family has held the Tyrnir of Highever since before King Calenhad united Ferelden. In fact, Tyrna Elethea Kusland battled Calenhad to maintain Highever's independence.
And Calenhad let us keep the Tyrnir? We opposed the king?
The Kuslands are ardent royalists now, but at that time, Calenhad was unknown and considered dangerous by many. When Calenhad's army reached Highever, Tyrna Elethea led the local bands against him. Obviously, Calenhad won.
And Calenhad let us keep the Tyrnir?
Calenhad wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Elethea's men were defeated, Calenhad asked her to swear fealty. The boulder where they held council still stands today as a memorial of that event.
Tell me our relationship with Arhal.
The history between the Kuslands and the House reaches back to the Orlesian occupation.
When did Orlais occupy Highever?
During your grandfather's rule. Of course, Orlais found it difficult to hold these lands. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near Highever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the Tyrnir's center. Its Arl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over.
We fought the Howes?
Your grandfather couldn't afford to lose Harper's Ford. In keeping the town, your family drove Orlais from its lands. The Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Loghain, just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Cailan, to fight the Darkspawn.
Time to end the lesson, I think.
Thank you for indulging an old man.
Oh, does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans. Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself for all the good I'm doing. Left myself all this while you do this.
Aw, I like him. Librarian.
Good evening, my lady.
History of Ferelden, Chapter 1. History of Ferelden, Chapter 2. He's asleep.
This whole chapter? Some of these words are so big. Mother says the Darkspawn will all be killed and I won't see one. Is that true?
I hope so. Alright, you guys, I think I'm about to leave this episode here. Thank you so much for watching. I've been the lovely Miss Scarlet Fox. Please be sure to like the video, comment on the comments, subscribe to the channel, all that good shit. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.